Hi, boys.
Yo, yo. What's up, Ken?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Doing pretty good, actually. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, thanks. Same to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I got some bit of bad news, guys. Some of you may be familiar with Nappy Head Roots. He had a channel here in San Jose.
Yep,
Name,
I'm familiar.
I know T-Loke's familiar. I don't know about it. Maybe 1-0. You know who that is?
Is it the band Nappy Head Roots?
Yeah, right. That's him.
They play for like a late night show, don't they? I think it's either Jimmy Fallon or
No, well, it's a Ti's channel. That's his
oh,
channel's
that's
name.
then no, I'm not. I don't know about those guys. Sorry.
Oh, it's just one guy. His nickname is Nappy.
Oh, yeah.
He's been arrested. He's in Santa Clara County Jail.
That sucks.
His vehicle's been impounded and everything he owns is fucked off. So I tried to create a GoFundMe page today to no avail. GoFundMe has got some problems with its website.
Yeah. Coincidentally, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to put it in the, I have all his information, his real name, his date of birth, and I think what's an inmate number. I'm not positive.
Okay.
Put it in the comments, that private comments now. Let me just say a few things. I met Nappy face to face in San Jose on the streets.
Cool.
He was protesting one day with a bullhorn, and I recognized him. Now, lately, his channel's been retitled San Jose PD's Nigger Experiment. And he's been a target for a long time. Well, he's been arrested on domestic terrorism charges, if you can believe that shit. So the terrorists have arrested him on terrorist charges, which is not surprising. They tried the same with me. About 10 years ago, they did. And it's a serious fucking crime, guys. I mean,
what's the premise?
They'll invent shit. I don't know. And it doesn't really matter because it's a railroad job any way you slice it. Okay, I don't know. I don't have the police report, but I promise you it's full of lies and bullshit.
Yeah.
And a lot of redacted fucking names and details that would shed some light on it. Likely the case. Now, here's the problem with obtaining a police report. It can only be done by an attorney, even if your name is on it. You believe that shit is true. All right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So he's looking at doing 10 years in the penitentiary over nothing.
Holy shit.
And I was looking at 15 to 20. So his real name is Jacob Daniel Mills.
Okay.
Okay. He's in Santa Clara County Jail. We know it here as Elmwood. I don't believe he's at the main jail anymore. I could be wrong about that. And he needs help. He's going to need some help to post bail. Now, I'm guessing his bail's about $5,000. It might be lower for one charge. It might be a couple of thousand, but it's at least $2,500. I'd like to help raise the money to bail him out. But here's the deal, guys. There's no point in bailing him out if there's nowhere for him to stay. You know what I mean? He's homeless. So why do I mention it? Because I want to put it out there to all TIs in the Bay Area and abroad. Those that ever subscribe to his channel or know who he is, or even if they don't know him, that this can happen to any one of us. It has happened to plenty of us. And these are the times that TIs need to really pull it together for their fellow TI. Make sense?
Yep.
So
I'm open to all
So
recommendations and suggestions at this time.
Well, I'm sure he's going to get a trial, right?
Yeah, he'll definitely get a trial and a hearing date, but that could be weeks and months away.
Oh,
That's not going to happen next week.
yeah.
So like domestic terrorism, what exactly, like, I know what terrorist obviously is, but what is that, like a threatening to do something or cause harm to?
All you need to know is that it's a felony. It is a felony charge. If you want to look it up, it's Penal Code 420. If you want to know all the details. If you want to know what the length of time is, you're looking at doing a dime, maximum 10 years in the penitentiary over it.
Yeah, but they're going to have to find proof that he wants to cause some kind of harm. I think that's kind of what T-Look is getting at. It's like, what does that mean? So then they're going to have to match the charges to what it means. Like, oh, he was planning on doing this or that, you know?
No, they don't have to do shit. All they have to do is get a crooked DA, which they already have, and get it bought and paid for, fucking false witness, and he's a wrap and he's gone.
I mean, yeah, in that sense, then it's pointless, you know what I mean, to even rely on the justice system and shit. So,
well, that's why I'm saying he'll need a criminal defense attorney. That's a given. If he relies on the public pretender's office, he's history. He's as good as gone. And he may not have a choice, but that's why I'm saying the fundraising's got to start now.
Well, I'll try to put the word out.
Yeah, please do.
On my part.
Yeah, me too.
I'm willing to donate $200 to his bail, and so is Kenneth in Sacramento. $400 right there.
Do you know how much the bail is?
I'm guessing it's at least $2,500.
Not too bad.
All right. Well, we could talk about that a little later, but yeah, sure we'll consider something along those lines.
Do we have anybody in the chat room now? Doesn't look like it.
Nah. This is my backup channel. I have a strike on my other channel, so I can't upload on that one right now. But we would probably have a little bit more traffic. I sent out a few messages.
All right. Okay.
To let people know, you know. But see if they join up.
I didn't have anybody when I was in this position. There was nobody. Absolutely no one. And I'll talk about that situation. It was one of my darkest moments in life.
Okay.
Okay. So what happened was I was on my way to work on a Saturday to Stanford University at about 5 a.m. It was an overtime job, and I was arrested at a Shell gas station.
Holy shit.
They didn't have enough evidence on me to charge me with anything. So the detective had me placed into the county psychiatric facility for a 5150 hold. Well, you may have heard that term 5150 before. And I'll tell you what that means. It's a 72-hour minimum psychological hold, psychiatric hold. You're not going anywhere for 3 days, no matter who says what. If the
Okay.
psychiatrist says you're clean, good to go, you're still there 3 days. Well, 3 days became 5 days. And
Uh-huh.
the reason is because anything beyond 72 hours now suspends your Second Amendment right of firearms ownership. You think Second Amendment's a guarantee, but it is not. There's a million ways around it. Restraining orders, psychiatric holds, now called 5250, beyond 72 hours, etc. And that was the aim, was to deprive me of my gun rights.
Oh.
Permanently, okay?
Uh-huh.
Now, I was process served and sued by my local union, that's Plumbers Pipe Fitters 393, because they were trying to cripple me in multiple areas at the same time.
Uh-huh.
They're trying to strip my membership of my my
Your
union
livelihood. Yeah.
my livelihood. Yeah, at that time I was a 15-year member.
Fuck.
I'm now a 25-year member today. Thank God.
Congrats, bro.
Thanks. Anyway, I beat that case and I went back to work. I took another job as the other job was now gone.
Uh-huh.
You know, and over time, thank you very much.
I gotta step out real quick. It'll only take me like 2 minutes. I'm just opening the gate for my brother to get in.
Fine. When I completed my 40 hours on the next job, I was arrested again that night. I think I was asleep for an hour before there was a knock on the window. Knock on my vehicle window. I was sleeping in my vehicle.
Uh-huh.
This was all, of course, orchestrated to deprive me as much sleep and to intensify the stress as much as possible.
Right.
Because that's how these faggot cocksuckers operate. And so I was taken downtown to the main jail, and I was not processed for 8 hours. I was handcuffed to a steel railing.
Shit.
I was then put in an orange jumpsuit, and I was thrown into the snake pit lion's den of about 35 ex-convicts on the 7th floor of the main jail. Just as they were waking up, I was tossed in there totally out of it. Totally out of it.
Right.
All done by design.
All right,
Now,
I'm back.
I snuck a collect call off to a bail bondsman, posted bail. I got my vehicle, 1 year of sleepless nights, an amputated finger, and 20 grand later, that case was dismissed against me. Now, that's what Nappy is looking at today. That's what he's looking at today.
Yeah.
So
I just saw a documentary about Julian Assange and how they did him dirty and basically have ruined his life. So
I got something to touch on this subject.
all right.
All right, so as a Mexican or a white person or a black person, obviously you roll with the crowd of your race, right? When you go to jail. But in my opinion, like, I don't want to roll with any crowd. Like, I'm a fucking solo fucking artist. And if you choose to run by yourself, obviously you're going to get more attention to yourself. As a person that's targeted, how are we going to run with the South Side or the fucking blacks or the woods, whatever you want to claim, if we're targeted. I don't get that. Like, you still accept the streets or the streets conditions, and there's people out here that still follow them. If they call themselves a TI, I don't get it. There's no more rules anymore. There's no cliques or fucking crews that you're supposed to run with. We're by ourselves no matter what. So how are you supposed to run with somebody in jail?
I'll answer that question. Hang on a second. Well, first of all, jail is a lot different than state time.
Okay.
Jail is a lot more loose. In other words, the expectation, let's just say there's a lot more racial interaction in a county jail situation, far more than you'll ever see in a state penitentiary. So, and they ask you when you're being processed if you have a racial background or if you are a racist. And if you say that you are, they'll segregate you. Okay? Just on that, the answer to that question alone when you're being processed. Okay? If you say, no, I'm not racial, you will go into a bunk room where there are all different races. But even within that situation, birds of a feather were going to start sticking. They're going to start sticking together for the most part. There is some interaction verbally, but you're asking how does that apply to the TI? Well, the TI is no longer relevant now, and if you want to fly solo, you can. You be known as a walk alone, but you're going to have to defend that.
Yeah.
You're going to have
Back
to
up that
defend
walk.
it. That's right. You're going to be a gladiator.
I've kind of noticed that
Let's go, boys.
the the TI stuff kind of dies down in jail, because they already kind of got you per se. It's like when you talk to people that have gone to a mental facility, they say that they actually felt some peace in there. That's because they want to keep you in there. You know what I mean? They want to tell you, they want to make it seem like, hey, you know what, Joe's not that bad.
This is
At
a safe
least,
space
yeah, you're not free per se, but at least your mind's not being fucked with, and the TI thing is
to
kind
where
of
we want you.
shut off in a bit, in a way. I'm only saying this because I went to jail not to a while ago, actually, maybe 3 years ago or something like that. That was the last time I went to jail, but it was only for a night. But I did feel like I was super at peace in there.
Dude, when I went when I went to jail, it was like fucking everybody knew who the fuck I was. I was getting all these motherfuckers like looking at me weird. That shit was like I really wanted to fight everybody in there, bro. Like I was just
yeah.
like, dude, I ain't fucking.
You see, this
Don't
program
fucking-
it sucks because it's so different to everybody. It's so individualized to everybody. So I think
Yeah.
that's by design too. So we can't say like, oh yeah, it's the same situation for everybody. It varies, and it's all fucking scrambled the way it works.
I don't know. I feel like if I ran with anybody, I felt like I was selling out. I felt like I was accepting their bullshit ass program. That's how I
Yeah,
feel.
yeah, but I mean, if you
But like to
are,
survive, you see, that's the thing. I mean, what would you do
yeah,
if
that's what I'm saying.
went in
I
there?
would
Because
I would have to pair up, bro. I know we're living in the 22nd century, but I would assume that in there shit
because
hasn't changed. Shit hasn't really changed.
everybody's not a perp. Like technically, there are probably some few people in there that are still like fucking got some fucking nuts, and they're not little pussy ass fucking sellouts. So
Yeah,
you know, if you fucking just keep your fucking head up and your nose clean, you should pretty be able to fucking, stay out of
Yeah,
trouble.
exactly. And
But
especially if the shot caller
it's
likes
like,
you, if the shot caller likes you, some not like that, but like if he's cool with you, he'll probably have your back. He'll probably have your back and be like, well, you're gonna have to like fight this guy and get it over with, and then after that, he's gonna have to leave you alone, or else, maybe that's how it works. I don't know.
I don't
Honestly,
want to
I've been
play
to
none of those
jail a
fucking
shit
games.
ton of times. I've never been to prison, so thank God, knock on wood.
Yeah,
But I've never been to
nah,
fucking
fuck that
actual
shit.
prison.
I, I'm fucking, I'm getting toe tagged. Fuck that.
I mean, you have to fight. If you have to fight, you
Shit.
have to fight. You know what I mean?
I mean,
I
like,
mean,
I don't give a fuck about doing a few months. I can handle that shit. I mean, doing a few years or like, more than that. Yeah, that ain't happening. You better send
right?
my ass to a psych ward or some shit. I don't know what solitary fucking
Yeah,
lockdown because I'm be
yeah.
having
Send me
fucking
over
people
to
if I
the
have to.
5150 shit department. I
Well,
have heard of that
let
actually,
me
but
let me put my 2 cents in here. I don't think anything they go easy on you in jail. If anything, they're going to go harder on
Yeah, anywhere, right?
you. All right, and the rats are everywhere. There's a rat culture today on the street that did not exist.
yeah, that's true.
Obviously, I'm the oldest one on this call right now, and I can tell you that the acceptance of rat culture today
Yeah,
is though it is mind-boggling. It is the case. So, having said that, jail is full of rats. They accept
right.
that shit. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh, and you got your fucking you even inside these fucking dirty inmates, the trustees. They're the ones you got to watch for because they're sucking ass on the CO.
Yep.
right.
They're the eyes and ears for the CEO, and they're gonna rat your ass off every step of the way. Every step of the way, they're gonna pretend like they're down and they're all about banging or the street and their hustle and all that, and it's all a show. It's all fucking bullshit. Those days are gone. They're gone, man. Everybody is a rat today. You can see it. You can see it on the street. You can see it in the jails and the penitentiaries.
Right.
Sadly, all right. When it comes to saving somebody's own skin, it's going to happen every single time. So it doesn't matter who you're getting clicked up with, right?
Right.
Yep.
It becomes tougher. That shit becomes tougher in a controlled environment to pull off because there's nowhere to run and hide.
There's no seclusion. There's no like.
Right. The perp can't go run away and hide, uh, all the actions of theater and things. They just get everybody in on it. Right.
Uh,
They get everybody in on
thinking back on it, what they did start doing though is the sleep deprivation, where it's like you have certain motherfuckers that are tough, and probably strong and work out every day, talking all fucking night, screaming, like fucking laughing all fucking night, and you can't really say shit unless you want to fight them. You know what I mean?
it. Yeah. You have to do something like T-Lo did and say, "Hey, I'm kind of crazy. I need a cell to myself."
Right.
Tell them you're schizophrenic. Tell them all kinds of shit.
Yeah, but then you might be permanently labeled as a like.
Fuck it. You're
Where
already
they can take your
permanently
rights
labeled.
out.
No, so when you want to go get some kind of benefit or apply for something, like boom, that red flagger would be like up, like, oh, this motherfucker proclaimed himself, and he was diagnosed mentally ill in such a facility or
Park
whatever.
straight. Park straight.
So
Who are you talking to, T-Lo? Who are you talking to?
No, my brother. My bad. Hold up.
Tell him to walk away. You're on a call right now. And an important one at that. T-Lo, why don't you go ahead and explain how you pulled that off in LA County Jail? And how has it affected you today since then? In response to 1-0 here.
Oh well. I only spent like 2 weeks in there, and I asked to be to put in a cell by myself. They at first they didn't want to. They were trying to put me in general pop, and I was just like, I went to the I don't know, one of these windows, and I told them, hey, look, this fucking guy is trying to put me in the fucking in a door like a that was like a fucking dorm room with everybody. There was a bunch of people in there, and I'm just like, dude, I already know these motherfuckers. As soon as I went to the window and said like I already told them to put me in a fucking cell by myself, and I fucking told them I'm fucking high power. You know what I mean? So uh, they
High
fucking they,
power? What
that
does
once
that mean?
I'm a high power soldier, man.
Oh, I see.
Nah,
Which is all bullshit, right?
forgot that. Yeah. So, anyways, I uh, I told the guy and I was like, yeah, this dude's not like fucking calling me, and they had me waiting right there, sitting with handcuffs, like just watching people go by, just watching people being processed in. And I was just like, this motherfucker had me sitting there for like 2 hours and shit, and I was just like, stick. So this fool finally gives me a cell as soon as I said something, put me by myself or whatever. I'm just like right there, like whoever I gotta fight, whatever I gotta do to get a fucking peace of mind, I'm gonna fucking do it. Like as long as these motherfuckers ain't violent, because I don't want to go down the crazy path. I think that's probably not the way to go, because then they could probably do more shit and or fucking make you take something, and I don't want that to happen. So if I show that I'm coherent and sane, they can't fucking pull none of that shit, because that's where they'll really fuck you up. So yeah, so whatever you gotta tell them.
Okay, so that's
And
your
then that was only for like 2 weeks, and I got out, and yeah,
all right.
that must have been
I don't really
nice.
give a
So
fuck
you
about
got your
jail.
own cell. You got your own cell or dorm or whatever. That's
Yep.
crazy, bro.
Like fuck their fucking games. I don't know how it is like once you go to the actual penitentiary, because I was county, so county's a little bit more, I think, hectic because there's a lot of processing in and out. I don't know how the pin would be. I don't know. That's probably different. I don't know if I'd be able to get my own cell or they'd be that lenient to do that shit. But it was funny because I had because the reason that I did that, right, I was being processed in, and because I had was in my own cell, one of the fucking sheriffs, I was going to court, and one of the sheriffs was like, why are you being processed by yourself? No, you're gonna go with general population. And like I couldn't really do nothing about it, so he fucking just like threw me in with everybody else. And then they couldn't find me when they called my court case. It was for a domestic violence, and they had to DA reject me because I couldn't see a judge at time.
It's crazy because yeah, I
That shit
mean
was funny. Yeah.
the Lord is working on the backside of that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
For us.
that's why I was tripping out, and the cop was like, what was your charge?" Like when I was like when they had to release me, and they just were like like kind of like shaking their heads, like "Fuck, we could have had this fool or whatever." They're all fucking nosy
Yeah.
and shit, and I'm just like, what the fuck do you care? Like, why are you asking me and not anybody else? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so yeah, it was just some bullshit, but I ended up I ended up coming out the winning side. So because we're fighting for the winning side, even though it might feel like you're losing, but you're saving your soul and giving up your life.
Yeah. Is there
But
anybody
there's
in
also
this?
another
Huh?
another predicament that I'm kind of not really in, but another supposed. I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm not gonna say anything, but he says he's a TI. He's getting targeted and stuff, and I've been talking to him for a while. He was on one of my videos, I think, once or twice, and so I think I had mentioned this to Ken, but I was going to rent out a camper that I had that we're not using. So I don't really know this dude that well, but he seemed cool over the phone, from what I had observed and stuff. But um, he has a few issues, like uh, substance abuse and shit like that. So I don't really want to put his business on blast and shit, but like that he doesn't know how to take care of business. Like when somebody's trying to help you out, the least thing you could do is make sure like you're in contact with them. You know what I mean? Like, so there was some important things that were happening where we needed to move the camper to another location, where he felt more comfortable having it, and he tells me, oh yeah, he doesn't let me know first off the tow truck that was supposed to go and pick it up, and then like the whole night I'm just like, yo, like I just sent him a few texts like, yo, like did you move it or like what? Like I felt like I'm a fucking, I'm taking care of a little kid. Like he doesn't really fucking like keep you informed. So I text him the next morning. I'm like, yo, did you move it or what? Like I don't want my dad to fucking call the cops and report that shit stolen. So then he
Yeah.
answers me, and then he's like, yeah, my bad. I moved it to the spot that I told you I was gonna move it to. And I'm just like, well, Dick, well, why can't you just text me that shit? And why do I gotta fucking ask you? You know what I mean? Like, I'm the one that's helping you, and he hasn't even, he's paid, I think, half of the money, but he hasn't paid the other half. But we had agreed that when we moved the camper that we would. But so I'm texting him, like, hey, can I pick up money or can you sell it to me? He still hasn't texted me back. So that was earlier this morning. He still hasn't messaged me. So, like, I don't want to have to fucking kick this dude out. I'm trying to give him a chance if he really needs somewhere to stay. But if he's not serious, if he can't afford to pay 200 or 300 bucks to stay there, which is he's not gonna find that price anywhere. And it's my dad's camper, so I'm trying to help him out and give him even like a price than what they were charging, which was like 400 bucks.
So where did you say
And
this camper is located at?
well, it was parked on the street, but where it was parked, he like we weren't. I guess we both agreed that we should move it to another area where
Uh-huh.
he felt more comfortable at, which is like nearby.
Yeah.
And so we moved it. We got it towed, but like he never kept me up to date on the process of the towing. He just like kind of kept me on the back burner until like the next day or whatever. But yeah, he's just like he's not consistent with this like messages. He don't let me know like, oh yeah, don't trip, bro. Like I'll send it to you tomorrow or whatever. Like he's not. I don't want to have to feel like I'm taking care of a fucking kid. Like because I don't
Yeah,
want
it
to have
looks
to
like
like kick
you're
this fool
taking
out.
care of
You know.
sounds like you're taking care of a grown person and you're and a tenant
Yeah.
at the same time.
I'm already
Like,
seeing like I'm already seeing bad, habits already that I'm not gonna be dealing with. You know what I mean? Like I already got shit to deal with.
yeah.
So
Like
either
honestly,
like
bro,
he, yeah,
I have my bad habits, but I take care
yeah.
of
But
my
when
own
it
shit.
comes to business, yeah, when it comes to
Uh,
business, you take care of it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
but you can still
Like
kind of enjoy yourself, but like
I
make
go through
sure,
the fire, but I make sure,
yeah, these
my
motherfuckers
kid is
suck.
taken
Yep.
care of, my bills are fucking paid and all that
I
bullshit.
want to reel this back into Nappy, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because these departments got to know that we're not just going to sit quietly and watch one of our own just get railroaded after they've been fucking with each one of us in our respective areas for X amount of years. I suppose it's right closer to me because it's in my hometown, right? And I've met and that I know him somewhat personally. So you might say, well, what are you trying to do about it? I've already stated what I am doing and trying to do about it. But some pressure needs to be placed on the department itself. So some light, whether it's making a video or whatever the case may be. Right. And I'll be happy to get on TikTok and make a video specifically to this subject. In fact, I will. I'll do just that after we're off this call. The reality is this can happen and might happen to each one of us, right? And if and when that does, you're going to want other TIs to step up to the plate for you and know that you're not forgotten. All right. So it's not really about jail culture and what happens in prison and jail and all that shit. I mean, we could be here for hours discussing all of that. I mean, I'm not sure what's so funny about that.
What?
I'm not sure what's funny about it, but
I almost sneezed. I'm not sure what you.
oh, I
mistook
thought
that
somebody
for.
was laughing. I thought someone was laughing.
No.
So, let's do what we can for this guy. You know what I mean?
You know, it'd be cool if if I was in San Jose, I mean, to go to the extent of like having more than a few TIs show up, and in his defense, like if that were possible, or like protest outside the fucking courthouse, whatever the fuck, and let people know that this shit's going on, and this man obviously is innocent,
Absolutely. I
and
agree
there's
with you.
crimes being committed against him and us, and we should shed some light on that. But I don't know if the story would be heard or if it'd be noticed, but at least we can try.
Well, we can make it. The only group of people that matters is really within ourselves. Obviously, everybody outside of that is a cocksucker. We've already seen that. That's been proven.
Right.
I would rely on any outside media or help from anybody outside of us. Now, I'd want to find out when his hearing date is.
Yeah, I'd be willing to like testify through video or like I'm not sure that's valid or even like
Yeah.
a signed testimony or something like that. But a lot of times they don't allow that where they want you to take the stand and shit, under oath. But yeah, I'd be willing to do my part in that sense. Like where if I have to give my name and my information, that's fine, and I'll back that up. I'll have to go look at his content, but I do trust you, Ken. You know what I mean? I do trust that you say he's the real deal and shit like that. As far as helping monetarily, I would have to hold off on that just now at least. Because I have a budget and I do help some people out in my life monetarily, and I don't get a lot of money honestly or anything like that. I just I try to do my best and how I spend my money and how I save it and all of that good stuff. But you never know, you know what I mean? I might go through his content and then it might move my heart or whatever, and then I might be moved. You know what I mean? I might feel the need to help out in a monetary type of way, and then if that's the case, I'm just being honest and transparent here. And then if that's the case, then I'll do it. I'll let you know and shit. But as of right now, I can just help with content and my testimony and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's good enough for now. We can always wait for his defense also, to say to tell us what they're gonna do, and who knows? I mean, by a miracle, he might even be let go and shit. So
Yep.
they're gonna have to look at the facts, and like you said, I mean, they're gonna go
Railroad him.
and yeah, they're gonna railroad him. but there's a chance there might not be, because we do work for the Most High, so he might
Yeah,
do it
and then
for
too, I mean, if he wants to fight it and bring all of his evidence or his YouTube channel or whatnot, I mean,
right. This shit might go fucking viral with
Wants
I
to
the
don't know
fight
why
it.
the fuck.
with the media, with the local medias and stuff like that. So
Wait a minute. Of course he wants to. He can go to prison if he doesn't.
Right.
yeah. No, we're just saying, like, you never know how the trial is gonna go. It might go big and blow up
Oh,
and shed some new light on the TI community,
yeah. Well, that would be a.
And in that sense, they wouldn't want that. They wouldn't want that because most TIs, if we can put our words together right, we end up being credible, and then there will be people backing him up and stuff like that, and putting their name and face out there. You know what I mean?
That's why I mention it, because the PD is hoping and relying that is forgotten about and nobody gives a shit, and that they can quietly get away with treachery,
Yeah.
criminal activity. I promise you, that's what they're hoping.
I don't know how corrupt San Jose is. I know Las Vegas is corrupt in a sense with, I mean, we're Sin City, we're the gambling capital of the world, but other than that, I don't know about fair trials. For some reason, I've always won my trials. I've always felt like God is in control of that, and sometimes maybe I've won unfairly or something like that, or I've gotten a lesser charge. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how bad it is in San Jose as far as like the DA and the justice system and all that shit.
That it's corrupt of any big city, and I don't think any city is any less corrupt than the other. They're all fucked up.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Oh, I think so. You're dealing with the same Freemason scum here as you will, whether it's Vegas, LA, Portland, any major city, any small town, really. You're going to have problems. And,
Right.
So the more people that can help shine a light on this, obviously, the better.
I mean, we don't really know the charges yet, do we? Or no?
Again, I just said it's a domestic terrorism charge. It's
Oh, yeah.
Penal Code 420. Look it up
Okay.
in the California Penal Code.
Okay. Well, we don't know the evidences or the report or anything, right?
Listen, man. Again, you're not going to be able to get your hands on a report if you're not an attorney.
Oh.
All you got to do is go online to Google and punch in California Penal Code 420, PC 420. And it's going to tell you everything that you need to know about that charge. You can find out what the maximum sentence is for it.
Uh-huh.
And things like that. What it is a felony charge. He's looking at doing some state time. He's looking at going away to the state penitentiary.
Well, yeah, I imagine anything that has terrorists attached to it is as bad as it gets and shit.
Well, and again, these homosexual fucking queer terrorists themselves.
Yeah.
That's a brassy fucking move to try. They tried it with me, and they lost. Okay. They don't want to try it again because they've now established a pattern and are risking a heavy civil lawsuit stuck right up their ass where they like it. Okay. Now they're risking that with Nappy as well.
Right.
Especially because he's black. You say, don't make it a race issue. Well, I didn't. They did.
Right.
Right. And I bet you dollars to donuts, this could turn into a major civil rights case.
I hope it does.
I hope it does too. I hope it does too.
I hope it does, but he's gonna have to, tread carefully with the whole TI thing because they're just gonna call him crazy.
Yeah, well, it doesn't really matter what they call him, right?
No, but what I'm saying is like they're so quick to dismiss shit when you mention that because they're just like, oh, that psychiatric community just labels all of that insanity. You know what I mean?
What are we talking about? The targeted issue?
Yeah.
That doesn't even. I wouldn't even enter into that. I wouldn't even discuss that shit.
You don't think he's gonna mention any of that?
Oh, he might. Maybe he does, but I'm saying as far as the defense goes, that's not even something you want to even bother with.
Oh, okay.
All right, you want to deal just with the facts alone.
Yeah.
They gotta prove that he's a terrorist. What has he done to make to?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they're gonna have to look through his computer, through all his devices, and actually find some shit where he's like, I'm encouraging, a city block being blown up or hacking the FBI or this or that.
My point is this, though. When you get several of us together and say, look, they're railroading this man as they are us.
Uh-huh.
That now this crazy stuff starts out the window, doesn't it? Of course it does. Of course it does. It's tougher to explain why you got 4 people in this courtroom that are stating that they have been unfairly and illegally targeted by their respective so-called law enforcement in LA,
Yeah.
Los Angeles, and in my case, right here by the same department.
Right.
So that's my point.
I think that guy Filthy Wilson used to be in San Jose. I may be mistaken. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, but where is Filthy now?
I don't know. I don't know where that guy is.
Yeah,
That's what dropped off the map.
He just disappeared and shit. He was into all kinds of shit though, saying that this person was connected to this and that. It may be true, but it was like he was losing it a little bit.
One Filthy doesn't know the lay of the land here. He's from the South,
right?
Although he could be helpful, who knows where he is today?
I thought he was over there by the bay, but I don't know.
Yeah, he's in Santa Cruz or someplace, but he's nowhere to be found at this time, so he's worthless.
Right.
I know I'm a bit short and abrupt and a point to the point. It's kind of my style. I know sometimes it's abrasive.
Nah, it's all good. I like your style, Ken.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of getting used to, like a little bit, but once you get to know you and have a heart to heart, or at least a regular convo, you come across as, you can see your true colors.
Right. I hope so, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But I'm gonna go. After this. I'm gonna. Can you put? Is it just Nappy Roots? Is that the way you find him on his on YouTube?
All right, man. Well, thanks for showing up. And just as I was getting my laundry, the Dyke Witches showed up with a little boy in hand. And I said to them, "You didn't hear this because I muted it." I go, how do two lesbians make a baby?
Oh shit! It's gay month, man. You can't say that.
But man, the head on that kid looks like fucking twice as big as it should be. Like like a dwarf has a giant head. That
Fuck,
kid has a giant head on him, man. I mean, huge.
pumpkin head.
Yeah, like Frankenstein head. Pretty sad, actually.
Hey, Ken. So how do we find this guy Nappy Roots on the YouTube? You just go to Nappy Roots.
Nope. I'll tell you. Hang on 1 second. I'm put it in the private section of the.
All right.
He changed the name of his channel to San Jose PD's Nigger Experiment,
Holy shit.
and I'm sure that they were starting to get uncomfortable with that. Let me look it up. Hang on, without. SJPD's Nigger Experiment, spelled wrong, but it got the point across.
Yeah. Okay.
Hang on, I'm looking in my screenshots here. I am Nappy. Here, I'll screenshot this.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to write it down. Here it is. I'll put it in the comment section. I am Nappy. Hang on. Okay, go check 10, the private chat. You're going to see it, the name of his channel. I am Nappy, SJPD's Nigger Experiment.
I see it.
Yeah, that's it. That's his YouTube channel.
It's pretty extreme.
Well, but what they've done to Nappy is far more extreme than what they've done to us. Yeah, I don't mind. I'll put myself on camera. I don't give a shit. It is extreme. Extreme. You see, I got a sag in my lip over here. It's called Bell's palsy. You'll notice when I'm talking.
What's it from?
Those of Scandinavian descent a
Oh,
lot of times have partial paralysis to their face. And so what is part of my face is partially paralyzed. That's why my lower lip sags a bit.
okay.
It comes and it goes.
Right.
So if you see it, that's what it's Bell's palsy.
Okay.
Anyway, Nappy lived in his vehicle for 11 years.
Wow.
I never understood why he remained in San Jose if he was mobile to get away. Maybe he wanted to continue to shed some light on the crimes of the police, so-called police. I can only speculate.
Right.
I don't know, but that's what he did, and they made a move on him. They made their move on him. Now, let me say this, guys. You're always at risk when you're living in your vehicle under even the so-called best conditions. Now, there are homeless vehicles all over the place here. They're throwing dope at, and they're full on perps. All right. but they got a relationship, and they're not going to rock the boat with the perps because they want to rely on the populace to do its dirty work for them. So obviously they're going to lean on us and try to make our lives difficult. They did the same damn thing with me when I was living out of my vehicle. And I'm surprised that they haven't done this sooner with Nappy, actually, as he has signs all over his van. But regardless, I know Tanya Bauer in Australia is concerned, but that's a long way away to be concerned. So I'll do my best to dig up all the relevant info, and I'll get back to you.
I mean, how was you? Other than that, how was your guys' weekend? I mean, week. I know T-Loc he wanted to come up on here. I don't know why I can't talk right now. I think I ate too much shrimp cocktail. I couldn't stop eating it, even though my stomach was hurting and shit. But I know shrimp is bad for you or whatever. But my week was okay. I had a pretty good week. I do see how like the work mobbing is kind of differentiating now to me. What they're doing now is they're messing with, since I work with leads and sales and stuff like that, what they're doing is like my leads, they seem normal, right? And I pick them at random. I'm not going to get into too much details on what type of leads and how. Basically it's people's information that may want our service. So basically I call them. If they don't answer, I'll leave a voicemail, a text if I can, and an email. But I've noticed that my leads are basically crap. Like I don't know if these people know, or they're getting broadcasted, or the enemy is just telling them not to fuck with me or whatever. But then the Lord will be like, okay, then I have one person that wants to sign up for 5 different policies or something with you. So don't even worry about the ones that don't. But it's just crazy how that keeps happening, where I see other people just having it a little more easier that way. But I don't know. I just can't, I can't cry about it or anything like that. I just got to keep pushing and trusting in God and stuff like that, and just doing my part. And I have been trying to do my part, where I'm trying to keep my nose clean and not be so fucking crazy and wild, and playing out here with the jungle and stuff like that. Because if you play with fire, you may not get burnt, but you will definitely sweat. So God's been telling me to just chill out on that. I have been going to church too, at least once a week, to group. At group, there is a service, a very nice service, and then we share, our week and stuff like that. But I've been doing that, and I think it's been helping me share my testimony a little bit, and get a little bit of accountability of where I want to be, and not mess up so much, not go down that
Rabbit hole.
Yeah, that dark freaking world anymore. I think I've learned enough. I do appreciate it. A lot of people regret what they've done. I do regret the time that I wasted on that, but I did learn a lot on how the devil works and stuff like that. So now I'm really not afraid of it, and I know how to kind of maneuver through it. The only thing you don't get back is you don't get back time, and you cannot function if you're in that dark place. You can't function out here in reality. Like you can't hold a job, you can't hold normal relationships as much as you like. So I'm just gonna stick with God, man, and try to do my best with that, and try to keep my nose clean and stuff like that. I do appreciate you guys kind of being like a good testimony on substances and stuff like that. I know T-Loc, you drink a little bit. I don't know if you've been drinking or not, but Drinking to me is not that bad. It's what leads to it,
Yeah.
you know. And other drugs and stuff like that can be bad, but drinking to me, dude, I can drink 2 beers and I'll be fine. Won't drink for the next 2 days sometimes, and I'll be fine, you know. But
Well, what I started to realize is that since I would kind of brag about it and talk about how the alcohol would kind of throw me off of their system,
uh-huh.
they figured a way around that. And every time I drink, I feel like my brain is like a muscle, and it's sore the next day. But it's not sore because of the drinking, because I've drank before and I'll have like a headache,
They
and
just use
I've
that
been
as a
hungover
pretext.
before. What's up?
They use that like as a
Get out of
Yeah,
here.
pretext.
it's like they're kind of like resetting me and trying to connect all my neurons.
Uh,
That's what I know that they're trying to do. They're trying to like, because it doesn't feel natural, and
right.
I can tell they're hitting me with energy like when I sleep. So the alcohol, it doesn't throw them off anymore, even though I might have a good time for a night.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not worth it anymore. Like unless it's like, if it's worth it, like, I have somebody like a fucking wedding or like, something special where I feel like, I can have a few drinks because
Yeah.
I'm celebrating. But like, cause I do like to drink. That is
It
something I do like to
I
do.
can
But
relate to that a lot though, like how it does throw them off when you're on a good buzz, like you kind of even forget for like a second or
oh
two
yeah,
that
yeah. At the
you're
time, it messes them up. Like for
yeah,
me, it would mess them up even after the fact. Like I would
yeah.
I would get off of their targeting for like a few days, and then they'd have to like recalibrate their shit. But um
But there's our liver and our
now,
kidneys in the way all the time too, where we're attacking those too, what I mean?
yeah.
So
Now it's like they're just automatically, it gets stronger. Like sometimes it clears paths for them to like, if there was a,
oh
like
shit.
right now it's kind of hard for them. I can tell I messed them up because
Uh-huh.
I just ordered some RFID beanies. They
Uh-huh.
have these masks that like you can cover your whole face with and your head and everything.
So
And the ones that I have are just the top part, but I'm looking into getting some masks from a certain website that I've been wanting to try. But
yeah. Do you ever feel like you have these little electrical impulses like on your face, bro? Like random in your face? I don't know if that's the computer at
I
work
feel
for
like
me.
they're in the back of my neck, like back of my
Yeah.
head. There's little electrical fucking charges that are like clicking. Sounds like a clicking sound, like pop rocks. I don't know if you ever had the candy,
Yeah, no,
but
I have.
yeah, so like that, but it's similar to that. Um, but yeah, I just honestly I feel like because yesterday was my mom's birthday, so she just turned, what was it, 56 or something.
Okay.
Uh,
Happy birthday to her.
so yeah, she's still already on her second day. She's still getting turned.
She's celebrating.
But yeah, she like her and my dad. They're, I would consider like mild alcoholics. More, my dad's a little bit more. Um,
Right.
and I like drinking too, but like I just got a control of it. Like I just had to kind of like put that to the side because I seen the effects
You
of
know
it,
what
and it was,
they do?
yeah.
They're doing to me now though. Like this weekend, bro. They just had me really lazy, like really lazy. Like I was trying to do things. You know how you always tell yourself, like, "Oh, this weekend I'm going to go out jogging. I'm going to go out
Yep.
and at least work out a little bit, or do this, or start a journal." It's like fuck. Like all you want to do is like get up, you eat, you watch a little TV, or that's what I do at least. Don't get me wrong. If I have to do an errand, I'll do it. Because I'm that type of person where it's like, no, this has to be done, whether I feel good about it or not. I always do it. But otherwise, it's like, yeah, I just been like hitting the sack a lot, man. Like just sleeping and shit. Like I don't know what the hell it is.
It's
Like
like it's like funny because like how are they gonna pick this apart, right? Like say they want her to use this video for evidence, right?
yeah,
To supposedly call us whatever they want in court. How are, 3, 4 to a dozen people coming together talking about the same subject, and you wanna I guess like focus your attention on one person and say that they're this and that, but there's several people talking about the same subject and they agree that it's happening to them. How do you argue with that and still try to call somebody crazy?
And
Listen, hey, let me interrupt, guys, if I can.
yeah.
We need to get away from this. Who gives a shit if we're crazy? Fuck, I couldn't give a rat's ass about that. I don't give a shit what the population says either, because everybody knows damn well that this shit is going down. And so crazy isn't going to fly anymore. Crazy doesn't fly when 100% of the population knows about it. You're either a TI or a perp. That's it. That's it. You would never convince me otherwise. With the extent of involvement from coast to coast, there is no fucking way that 1% of the population might be ignorant to this subject. So crazy doesn't mean a fucking damn thing. That only means something if you care. You see what I'm saying? If you care about being labeled crazy, that matters.
No, I didn't say I cared. I just said how could they could even consider, because if you use your fucking, your reasonable, your conscience or your discernment, you could obviously tell, like, we don't sound like we're crazy. We don't look like we're crazy. We don't speak like we're crazy. So how are you gonna fucking call us crazy?
Well, again, but who gives a shit if they did? Fuck them.
Well, because they're the ones that are actually crazy. That's the fucking problem.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is,
That's
I'm
the
not.
fucking problem.
That word is very loose. It's subjective. By what yardstick are we using for comparison? What does sane look like? So I would even bother with fucking crazy. I'll just stick to facts
Right.
and nothing else, because everything else is a little bullshit game of theirs. Right? We want to reel it back
Well,
in.
all right. So yeah, let's stick to facts. Are there corrupt police officers?
Well, fuck, you know the answer.
Are there corrupt public officials?
There you
Do
go.
we live in a corrupt society? So you're telling me
Yes.
that no, there's not been experiments actually done on the human population where the FBI or CIA have been caught doing illegally or supposedly conducting experiments that they had ended long time ago. Like they have
Start.
been caught fucking spraying fucking chemicals on towns and shit.
There you go. Start with the obvious.
Yeah.
The chemtrails is where it all begins.
Yeah. And they try to talk about pollution and shit when they're fucking spraying, like, fucking retarded.
Now, I want to say something. I'm starting to experience a great deal of success after a month of detoxing. The electrical shocks are almost gone. The voice to skull is not completely gone, but the volume has been
Minimal.
cut by 2/3 so that I can barely hear what the fuck they're saying. At the end of the day, I don't care what they're saying if I can't hear it.
Did you consider following that diet of the Trilateral Commission?
I'll
Maybe
consider
like
anything that gets
twice a
metal
week.
out of my body. Yes.
Right. You
You're
should try it
talking.
maybe like once or twice a week.
I wanted to see if this worked first, and if it didn't, I'll add seaweed and brown rice is not hard to implement into my diet.
Right. Just to check it out.
Yeah, I mean, I've eaten brown rice before. I'm happy to eat that stuff.
What's the Trilateral Committee?
Commission. It's a video I uploaded to my TikTok.
Oh,
It's supposed to help to like kill fungus bullshit, I'm not sure about the heavy metals, and I think it does help with that too.
Uh-huh.
But I can send you the video. Actually,
Yeah.
I'll put it in the comments right now. So just copy and paste it. Watch it later.
Okay.
Remind me again, 1-0. Do you experience V2K or shocking?
You know, I've been a little more and more open with you guys, I guess. So when I do use or something like a hard drug, bro, like that's when they're like, ooh, it's playtime. You know what I mean? Like all the fucking retarded children come out and play and shit. But
What does
other
that mean? Do they talk to you through voice to skull?
yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, but when I'm clean, especially for like a after 2 weeks or something like that, it dies off a little bit. Sometimes it's bad. Sometimes they'll just talk. You know, it's just like an on and off switch, volume and shit like that. But like you said, the healthier we are, the more we can kind of filter them out or like mute them out a little bit or something like that.
Well, that's what I'm seeing at least after 4 weeks of this. Now, I only get voice to skull from 3 to 7 a.m.
That's weird.
Isn't it, though? It's a window.
That's weird. Yeah, they try to call me all kinds of derogatory, disgusting shit, you know.
Like what, bro? Like, be honest.
Just you know, from the fact stuff to the P stuff, and he's a monster, he's this, or he's a liar, he's a thief. Just basically everything bad that you can think about.
I get that too. I don't get the P, but I get a lot of the fag shit all the time. I mean, well, that's amazing because I've been cock free 52 and a half years while you getting ham slammed by your boyfriend in the department. And that tends to shut them up pretty fast.
Yeah, I've done a lot of research though, and I've actually talked face to face to a lot of people about the pedophilia rings and stuff like that the elites are running, and how they, how they have dungeons and lock up kids, and most of the children that are missing in the world, or they may even be harvesting from those same children, you know, making them have more kids and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? It's just endless possibilities with the evil shit that they do with kids, especially because of the purity of them and stuff like that, and how powerful kids are and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, and it makes me wonder what these dyke witches are doing with a young boy.
Yeah, exactly. I've noticed that lately. You know, the cockroach flying monkeys. They the ones that do the little street theater and stuff like that, try to walk in front of your house, talking out loud and shit like that. You know, while you're trying to just relax. They're using their little kids now to do shit now. You know, so they don't have no standards. They don't have no moral compasses. They have no limits of the disgusting shit that they do.
Oh, I know. I listened to an SRA survivor, Katie Groves, talk specifically about Las Vegas being the location of something called Uncle Sam's Snuff Factory.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Underground, where a rich old woman could order a black boy baked at $4.50 until you could put a fork in him. I mean, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
You know, I don't doubt it. And then the tunnels and things. Gunderson, he dealt with this much of his career as a PI.
Yeah.
And it's no wonder that there's such a wall of silence, because there has to be to cover this shit up. This shit's so beyond the pale. There would have to the level of complicity would have to be so extensive that it included multiple players in all areas of life to continue without massive exposure, right?
Yeah.
Because regardless of your religious background and things like that, whether you believe in an afterlife or not, or whether you even believe God exists, one thing we can all agree on, atheist or believer, or even, you know, anything but really Satanist, is that children are off limits.
Exactly.
You don't touch kids in any way.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't mess with them. You don't try to manipulate them. You don't try to, you know what I mean? Like fucking influence them or condition them or even hypnotize them to do shit. But they do. They don't have a limit. They don't care about their own children most of the time.
Well, that's right. I say the first level of protection for the kids is their own biological parents. That's the first line of defense.
Exactly.
And so I would have to ask how so many kids, how that line of defense was gotten past so easily. Right? Because the burden of responsibility does remain with the children. Now, I do realize that Child Protective Services does quite the opposite in taking children from families that rightfully belong to them. And so, you know, this is a complicated subject. But I also realize that there are throwaway kids and kidnappings that take place on a massive scale.
I mean, just look at our presidents, man. You know, both of these guys have pedophiles. You know, our ex-president and our current one. You know,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even Biden is admittedly himself had sought treatment, psychiatric treatment, early in his career as a senator,
really.
to try to address this, which had absolutely failed. Now you notice that the Freemason media, they make no mention of anything related to Biden's tendencies for groping very, very young girls.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll pull a 1-0 or Ken Dutton out of obscurity and try to make them the cover of the National Enquirer.
Right.
I find that very bizarre, considering that we're a couple of anonymous names for the most part.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think that just goes back to the lineage, man, where I always go back to that, where it's like, how do they know who the nice, good people are? I'm not saying I'm good by any means, you know, only the Father is good, but as far as me, like, crossing lines like that, I would never do anything like that, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna cross certain lines. I'm not, no matter how much they torture me, or if they threaten me with this and that, or something that's like where it's a kid or my family, I still wouldn't cross any lines like that, you know. I'm just not gonna do it. I don't understand how. I don't know. I don't understand how there's people out there that are monsters like that.
None of us do. It's a good thing you can't relate. Again, I don't know. I guess I'm sounding like a broken record at this point. I don't have much else to say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, have you noticed anything new with your targeting lately or anything like that?
Well, I did go to Planet Fitness last night, and it was unusually empty. I mean, there was maybe 7 or 8 people there, and I found it very refreshing.
Right.
Sometimes it's you're targeting it goes in peaks and valleys.
Right. It's like a roller coaster sometimes.
Yeah, usually the gym is a hot spot, though, where they love to send everybody and their brother. And I found that was not the case last night.
And you felt inside like your intuition was telling you something with, you know, with the targeting that had something to do with it.
It seemed like things were dropping off a bit.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to say they're permanent.
Yeah, maybe they feel like you're getting stronger or something, and they gotta, you know, like brainstorm or something, and go back to the lab and try to figure you out right now.
I think if you get the metals out of your body, you've got the ticket.
Yeah, exactly.
Get the
Stop
metals out of your body.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. My advice. I absolutely agree with that. But I guess we can call it if you guys had nothing else.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's call it then. Good job, guys. Thanks for putting this all together. Thanks for joining tonight and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll definitely get back to you about Nappy and stuff like that, and hopefully we can help him out in some kind of way. You know.
I hope so, man. I'd like to see him bailed out and at least put up on somebody's couch or floor.
Okay. I
All
mean,
right, guys.
it sounds like T-Log might have a vacant camper here soon. I'm talking shit though. But
Yeah,
who knows?
you might be right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Anyways, much love to you guys. God bless, and let me know about the next one.
okay. Have a good night. Thanks.
See you guys. Okay, bye.